The No Fate channel, checking in. And today we're going to be talking about how to get massive grip strength. We're also going to talk about the different factors that affect your grip strength, as well as the key exercises that are going to help you maximize and get that crazy gorilla grip strength that, hey, we all want. If this is your first time to the channel, give the video a like, hit that red subscribe button. I'm just a dad of two crazy kids, and this channel is dedicated to my hectic life as I cover health, fitness, and all of the dad life topics that come across my desk and that I have to deal with. And I am getting ready for my next Spartan race. And every time I do, I really try to focus heavily on my grip strength, because if you ever watched Spartan race footage or obstacle course race footage, or even like a Ninja Warrior, you know that it's grip is the name of the game when it comes to any and all obstacles. When people think of grip strength, the first thing that shoots into their mind is that massive power lifter that's deadlifting way more plates than should humanly fit on a barbell, or that overgrown gorilla of a bodybuilder that's just manhandling 150-pound dumbbells like they're Tonka toys. And yes, those images are of grip strength, and that is one factor when it comes to your grip strength. But so many people often will overlook grip endurance. And what is that? Well, if you've ever run an obstacle course race, you know what grip endurance is. If you've ever done rock climbing, you know what grip endurance is. And that is when we go and we're fresh, we're warmed up, we're ready to go, and we grab something heavy, boom, it comes right off the ground. Or we feel super strong, we feel like our grip is unshakable. Now flash forward a few hours of training and running and sweating, and you go to grab that same weight that you thought was easy, and all of a sudden you're having a whole lot more difficulty, and that's grip endurance. And people will often overlook that, but when it comes to rock climbing, when it comes to obstacle course races, grip endurance is way more important than grip strength, because anyone can have a good strength for their first lift of the day or their first obstacle of the day. But grip endurance is where it's at, because it's so hard when you're 2 miles into an obstacle course race, when all the obstacles are covered in sweat and tears and mud, and your grip is already fatigued and you barely can make a fist with your hand. Trying to do those obstacles becomes a whole different challenge in and of itself. Another big misconception when it comes to grip strength is that you get all of that strength from your forearm. And that's really not true. You do get some strength in your grip from your forearm. However, a lot, and I'll go as far to say a majority of your grip strength and your grip endurance comes from your hand and your fingertips. And just to give you a perception, if you've ever seen Free Solo and you've seen Alex Arnold just basically climbing up a wall with no ropes, all that weight, it's not on his forearms. It's really mostly in his fingertips when he's trying to hold on to those tight holds. And a lot of people, when they train, they skip their hand strength and they skip their finger strength. So I want to give you some of the tools that I've used to train my grip strength and my grip endurance. Woo! I'm going to break up my favorite grip training exercises and tools into 3 categories. And we're going to start off with your favorite, grip strength, that animalistic grip it and rip it mentality. Okay, top 3 exercises to gain massive grip strength. Number 1, the deadlift. When you pick up that weight, all of the weight is in your hands, wrist, and forearms. You're not going to get a heavy deadlift unless you've got that crazy grip strength that we all want. Try to avoid using wraps. That's going to, again, put more emphasis on your grip during that deadlift form. The other exercise, number 2, is a farmer's carry. You pick up a heavy weight in each hand and you walk. Now, oftentimes people will use a hex bar to mimic that farmer's carry, but you can use a kettlebell and a dumbbell. This kind of gives you the strength factor of trying to lift a heavy weight in each hand, but also the endurance factor of dealing with that weight over a long period of time. And you're going to realize that 10 or 15 seconds of a farmer's carry will seem like a lifetime. Number 3 is going to be loading pin lifts. You take a loading pin, you put a ton of weight on it, you attach a handle, and you lift it. It very much simulates a deadlift, but only in one hand. It also allows you to basically put a lot more weight on one hand than if you were deadlifting with two hands. And again, it's just training that grip to hold all of that weight, and there's nowhere for your grip to go. There's no other way to support that weight than with massive grip strength. So those are my top 3. 2 that I will tell you to avoid that a lot of people will do. You see a lot of people doing wrist curls with a barbell in the front or a dumbbell in the front, and then reverse wrist curls. Well, they'll do a barbell or a dumbbell in the back. Those are simply for aesthetics, okay? Those are for people that are looking to get a bigger forearm. But again, they're not putting a lot of weight and they're not really building up their grip. They're just trying to get like a fluff and puff muscle pump out of that exercise. And I would argue, don't bother, just a waste of time. Try to avoid it and stick with the manly exercises of deadlifts, farmer's carries, and loading pin lifts. Category 2 is going to be grip strength, that vice-like grip that we all want and we all need. So I focus on 2 main areas. Number 1, first and foremost, for building grip strength, the best thing you can do is rope climbs and pull-ups, because all of that emphasis and the fatigue is on your hands. When it comes to rope climbs, those are the best, but oftentimes we don't have access to a rope to actually climb. And the reason rope climbs are so hard is because of the rope itself. It's very tough to hold, to grip. Oftentimes it gets sweaty and it makes that even more difficult. Pull-ups are probably your next best option because everyone can get access to a pull-up bar. I would say if you do have access to pull-ups, try to do different variations of grips. Don't just do an overhand grip or an under grip. Change it up. One of the best things I like to do is to get a rope you would normally see for a functional trainer attachment, like for a rope push down, and I'll throw it over a pull-up bar and I'll do rope pull-ups. And again, the idea is you're putting a ton of strain on that actual grip and you're forcing your hands to do all of the holding on that grip while you pull yourself up. It's absolutely brutal. And if you're good for like 15 or 20 pull-ups, you might only be good for 2 or 5 of these rope pull-ups because it's that much of a change of pace. And that's why you really want to change up your grip if you're sticking with just pull-ups. The other thing you can do for your grip strength is captains of crush. Now these are hand trainers, and a lot of people are familiar with captains of crush. What they are these little hand trainers, and what's nice about captains of crush is that they go up to like 300 and 350 pounds. They're fairly affordable. You can carry them around and you just squeeze them, okay? I will say if you're gonna end up squeezing them like this, make sure you flip them upside down and do the opposite in order to give your hand a nice squeezing pattern. The only reason I don't necessarily love these is that the motion is really like a shortened range of motion when it comes to grip training. And they're good, but they're not great. The other tool that I prefer over captains of crush when it comes to grip training is the circular rubber strengtheners. You'll see them oftentimes sold in online on Amazon. I'll put a photo up here and actually show you an image. I've got 3 of them. My kids think they're toys and they take them and hide them. So I couldn't find one for today's video. They're basically the same premise where you're squeezing the whole ball, you're squeezing the whole band, and you're get resistance. What I like about them better than captains of crush is it's a fuller range of motion, it's a much more natural squeezing process, and you get resistance through the whole range of motion across all of your palm and your fingertips. Also, this leads us into the next category, which is hand endurance and fingertip strengthening. These circular bands you can actually put in the palm of your hand, but you can also put your fingers on the edge and simply squeeze with the tops of your fingertips, building up that fingertip endurance. The other tool that I absolutely love when it comes to building up grip endurance and that fingertip strength is a Dynaflex, okay? If you've never used one of these, you've got to get one. They last a lifetime. This one's at least 8 years old. You get this internal ball spinning and this thing gyrates like crazy and you just hold it in your hand, trying to keep it steady. And it absolutely works your entire wrist and your hand and your fingertips. And you put this in your hand for 4 or 5 minutes and you just go about your business. and your hand's sweating. Your hand's like literally sweating. It's so brutal to use. And what's nice about it is that you can really go a long time. So you can put this in your hand and work yourself up. You start off with 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and you can go all the way up to as much as you can handle, and then you can switch your hand. Also, what's nice about this is that you can place it in your hand in a different way to get a bit better fatigue and train your grip strength. So you would put it this, you can put it this way, you can put it this way, and you can do a whole bunch of different motions with this, but the whole premise is you're working your grip, your fingertips, and you're working it for long periods of time, building up that endurance. The other exercise that I absolutely love when it comes to grip endurance are dead hangs. That's when you just hang on to a pull-up bar for as long as possible. People greatly overestimate how long they think they can dead hang from a pull-up bar. If you've ever seen any Survivor episodes, you will know that the men often fail within 30 seconds. Usually the women are able to go a lot longer, but even then at the 4-minute mark, almost no one is left. And I'll tell you, if you can make it to the 2-minute mark, you've got like 90%, if not 95% of America absolutely beat. Those dead hangs are so brutal, and they take a lot of grip strength and grip endurance, and they're beautiful exercises to tack on at the end of your workout when you're already tired, because they don't necessarily fatigue the muscle any further, but they work 100% on that grip. So those are the tactics, the tips, and the tools that I use to get my massive grip strength, both for lifting heavy weights in my home gym and also for getting ready for the Spartan race and all those sweaty, muddy obstacles that encompass a Spartan race. What's your definition of grip strength? Did I completely blow your mind when I started talking about grip endurance and fingertip strength? Or is that something that you already knew was extremely important when it comes to overall massive grip strength? Hopefully you found today's video informative. If you made it to the end, we are officially best friends. YouTube hates short videos, and they really appreciate when people watch all the way through. So I have to give you a massive thank you for making it this far. Also, my birthday's coming up. Yep, the big 40. So if you want to send me an early birthday present, give the video a like and hit the subscribe button. It means the world to me, and that's the best birthday present you could possibly give to me. As usual, thank you for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back. And now the rope climb. This thing murdered me last time. We'll see if it's gonna murder me today. Yeah. I couldn't get my legs hooked in. That was all arms, but better than last time. We got it.